Yo, what is up guys? This is Pedro here, and in today's video I will be bringing you guys my week 11 preview of the Washington football team versus the Cincinnati Bengals. I will bring you guys a very important injury report, also talking about Geron going on IR. After that, I will be giving you guys my keys to victory for the Washington football team, and then finally my final score prediction for this game. So if you guys are new, subscribe for Washington and NFL content. So let's get right into it, and make sure to check out House of Hoodies. Use code Pedro for 15% off. Okay, so now on to the injury report. First, we'll start off with Washington. So we actually have a lot of players on the injury report right now. So these are the players that did not practice today. Ryan Anderson with a knee injury, DeShazier Everett with an ankle, Dustin Hopkins right groin, Dontrell Inman with a hamstring injury, Cornelius Lucas with an ankle injury, and then Jared Norris. And then also, like I mentioned earlier, they did place left tackle Geron on IR. And with Cornelius Lucas not practicing, this is very concerning for Sunday's matchup against the Bengals, just because, Sadiq Charles is out for the year as well. So, our only active tackles are Moses and David Sharp, and we'll see if Cornelius Lucas does end up, playing, because if he does, that would be a huge boost, because not only has he played solid, but it's a big drop-off from Cornelius Lucas to David Sharp, and also you have to think that Morgan Moses is going to play left tackle, so hopefully he can play. We're going to probably have to call someone up from the practice squad to back up David Sharp. And then DeShazier Everett, that's another one that's a little bit concerning. I highly doubt he plays. He didn't practice so far all this week, and he's probably not going to play. Dustin Hopkins, he still is dealing with that right groin injury. We'll see what happens with him, but at this point I just expect him to miss every time. And then Dontrell Inman still dealing with a hamstring injury. So that's the, our injury report. And then on the Bengals, there's nothing too big right now. Only thing I do know is that Joe Mixon has not practiced this week so far, Wednesday and Thursday. So it does look like there's strong possibility he does not play, and that would be a huge boost. They also have a lot of cornerbacks, that are injured right now. So we'll see what happens with that. So now on to my keys to victory. And this one's the most obvious one, so we'll start out quick with this. We have to start out fast, or at least somewhat fast. Just look at this stat. Washington has been outscored 148-72 in the first half this season. That is just absurd. That is terrible. Every single game except for the Cowboys game and the first Giants game, we were getting demolished at halftime. Last game, I think it was 24-3, or it was 17, it's something absurd at halftime. The Lions were demolishing us, and then same thing the Giants that week before, and the Cowboys game was the only game that we did really well in the first half. And I'm not necessarily asking for us to be winning after the first half, but at least be under one score. So if we're losing by less than 8, I honestly will take that as a win, because we're a pretty good second half team. We just have to start out a lot better, and it's going to be very, very concerning if we're down by more than 10 against the Bengals at halftime. So that's one real quick. The next one, and this one's a little bit more specific, but I think we'll have a very good chance of winning this game if our running backs have a total of 150 plus yards combined. And that doesn't just mean rushing yards, but also receiving, and I think they're definitely capable of doing that. But ever since that Cowboys game, they really haven't gotten anything going really much in the run game, so they got to pick that up a little bit and continue what they've been doing in the passing game. I just think that, McKissick getting 15 targets, I like it. I like him getting targets. I don't know about 15. McKissick's a much better route runner than Gibson in my opinion, but I like what Gibson does after the catch a little bit more. So, give a couple of those 15 to Gibson in the passing game. I would like to see him get a little bit more involved in the passing game, and they just got to step it up a little bit in the run game. And yeah, I think 150 plus yards, if you get that out of your backs, 80 plus rushing yards combined for the two of them. I think they need to do that. And then, maybe even 90, and then 60 plus receiving yards, which, is not too hard for them. I mean, McKissick's probably averaging over 40 in these since Kyle Allen and Alex Smith started, and Gibson gets 15 to 30 every game. So they're definitely capable of doing that, and I think that'll help us out a lot. So 150 plus yards combined for the running backs. Rushing and pass receiving. So yeah, that's the second key to victory. The third one, it is on defense right now. We have to be able to contain the receivers and limit the big plays. And this is definitely concerning against the Bengals because they actually have a really good receiving core. T. Higgins is on pace for over 1,000 yards. And they also have Tyler Boyd, who's a very good receiver. And A.J. Green is still solid. So, and you know who's starting this week? Most likely Troy Apke. So we're going to have to, limit the big plays, and it's gonna be tough. That's the toughest matchup for us, in my opinion. Our corners are solid. I think our corners, can handle them to an extent, but our safeties, if one of our corners get beat, I don't know if our safeties are gonna be able to stop them. We'll see though. Gotta limit the big plays and limit these receivers to sub 100-yard games, and I think we will be fine. So, real quick on this one, we gotta start to stop the run game. I mean, it's been ridiculous. I mean, we did it a little bit better against the Lions in the second half, but still, DeAndre Swift, Kerryon Johnson, they're running all over us. I mean, mostly DeAndre Swift, and Wayne Gallman, Alfred Morris the week before, we cannot let them average, 5+ yards a carry. And, some of that is on the D-line, but a lot of that is on the linebackers, most notably John Bostic. They got to read the gaps better, and I think that'll help us out a lot. And, if Joe Mixon isn't playing, that's a huge boost to our team, to our chances of winning. But still, Giovanni Bernard is not terrible, and I would not be surprised if he, had a big day against us. But we got to limit the running game, and the linebackers have to help us out with that. So now the last one, real quick. We got to be able to protect Alex Smith, just because, and it's going to be tough with Cornelius Lucas most likely out, but there was a couple plays on that last drive, game-winning drive, that if Alex Smith had a little bit more time to get through his reads, he would have been able to hit. I think one was Steven Sims and another was Terry for most likely touchdowns. So I think if he has a little bit more time, to get through his reads, it's going to help him out a lot, and he really struggled once he was under pressure. So we'll see how this, situation plays out with Cornelius Lucas, and, if he is able to start this game. Okay, so now on to my game prediction, and I'm gonna try to be optimistic. I had us losing against Detroit last week, got that one right. So you know what? I think this is gonna be a close game. Hopefully, it's a bounce back game for the defense, because the offense has been moving these last few games. Just they gotta finish in the red zone, and that should have been a key to victory that I made. But they gotta execute these plays, limit the turnovers, but I think we have a solid chance against them, and I'm going to be optimistic here. I think it's going to be close, mid to high 20s score. And I'm going to go ahead and say 27-24 Washington. I was thinking about having us at 30, but then I was like, yeah, there's no way Dustin Hopkins makes 3 field goals. So I think it's going to be in that range. Could go either way, Washington or Cincinnati, but I'm just going to try to be optimistic, and I'll pick us to win this week against the Bengals. We'll see though. I mean, it could go either way. Like I said, Joe Burrow versus Chase Young. They both played at Ohio State for a little bit. Terry McLaurin also played at Ohio State with Joe Burrow for that 1 year, so they know each other a little bit. And it should be some fun. So thank you guys for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, please smash that like button. Subscribe if you guys are new, and turn on those post notifications so you never miss a video. And I did a Wizards video yesterday on their draft pick, so go ahead and check that video out. I usually don't do Wizards content, but I thought it would be interesting, so go ahead and check it out. Peace.